I tell you what, that Lovemask sure is a hell of a band.
Oh, that's I'm here with Justin Anguish Martyr, the lead vocalist of Lovemask.
Yep,
Alright.
that's me. You have some questions for me?
Yep.
We're here for an interview. We're here for an interview. You got any more brain busters? Alright, let's hear what you got there.
Okay, so, what year did Lovemask form?
Well, do you want the short answer or the long answer?
I think I'll just take the short answer.
Alright, good choice. Because we were going to be here all day. Well, we started when I joined the band in the current shape and status that the band is in right now, and the vision that we all came up with when I joined the band. It's kind of shifted from what it used to be a little bit. Not entirely, but a little bit, because, we all bring our ideas. And then when I joined the band a few years ago, I would say maybe 4 or 5 years. I don't really know exactly. About 4 or 5 years, I would say I joined the band. So that's the current Lovemask. That's the shortest answer I can possibly give you.
Okay. Alright. What is a quick summary in a nutshell of the concept that is Lovemask?
Um, I can hold it. I like to see bands that put on a mask, wear face paint, have a lot of cool stuff going on stage at the live shows. Like, I don't want to just see a normal, guy with jeans and a t-shirt, which is cool, if they're good musicians. I like that. It doesn't matter. But I'm saying it's always better for me personally if I see extra, like a little more, like theatrics and uh, more more visual, something more visual. So I like the masks, and it also helps us become another uh, character or person, if you will, on stage and in our music, but not entirely, because we do write a lot of material that comes from uh, life experiences, and I think a lot of people can hopefully relate to at least a few of our songs.
Okay. So, being a Southern California band, do you have any plans on touring north uh, or even outside of California?
I like how you said Southern. Yes, we are a Southern California band from the south of California. We don't have any immediate plans to travel outside of the state, although we would like to. We have talked about it in the past, and I would like to play some out of state shows, maybe Texas, maybe get to Las Vegas and Nevada and play some shows there, maybe even Seattle and Washington. That would be pretty cool. So those are a few places that I'd like to go that are relatively close on the western part of the United States. That wouldn't be impossible to do sooner than going to the East Coast, of course. But yeah, not we don't have any immediate plans to do that right now. We're just really focusing on this festival that we're putting together called GemFest. It's gonna be in Pala, California, across from the casino up there. Um, it's October 18th. We're getting a bunch of other local bands um, to play the festival with us. And right now we have like 6 bands playing right so far, and I'm looking for a few more to throw on there. So maybe I'll get up to 10 bands to play the first GemFest. And if it goes well, I plan on doing GemFest in October for like October Halloween season, fall season, and then doing a GemFest summer series. So we'll do one big GemFest maybe next summer as well. So far, it's coming together good for October. October 18th, if anyone's down in Southern California and wants to check it out, it's in Pala. You can check out the flyer. In a couple weeks, I'll have the official flyer up on my social media on Facebook and Instagram at Justin underscore Martyr 9 on Instagram and Justin Anguish Martyr on Facebook, or you can just check the Lovemaskband Instagram or Facebook. Either way you'll see the flyer in a couple weeks once we get a few more bands on. I'm just waiting for some last minute confirmations. But yeah, sorry for the long answers. I just want to make sure I get everything in there, and because I don't really do a lot of interviews. Actually, this is probably only my 3rd interview. So this video is not sponsored by Liquid Death, but we do love Liquid Death, and we support Liquid Death, and they have pretty amazing water, a lot of nice flavors. They have some pretty good tea as well if you want to try them out. They got all kinds of stuff you can get into. Only 2 grams of sugar in this cherry obituary sparkling water. Better than the other alternative of soda or um, you know, sugary drinks, Gatorade or whatever.
Yeah.
Liquid Death, please let's team up with Lovemask. Send us some cases of Liquid Death. We love you guys. Cheers.
Are you working on any new songs right now?
Yeah, we are working on like 3 songs. Um, I guess I can tell you the titles. So one is gonna be called either Lost in Time or Rock Bottom.
Okay.
I'm still kind of trying to decide which, but probably gonna be Rock Bottom because everyone else in the band wants to call it Rock Bottom, but I wanted to call it Lost in Time because, well, in the lyrics there's kind of a hook in the verse that kind of gets stuck in your head that goes lost in time or whatever, and then after that is the chorus that is basically like the rock bottom part of the song, which also gets stuck in your head. So that's why I was like kind of like trying to decide between the 2 song titles for that one. But just to please everyone in the band and to make it simple to remember the title of our own song, I'm probably just gonna call it rock bottom at the end of the day.
Alright.
We do have 2 more other songs we're working on, and some other ideas out there as well. But I would say 3 songs that are pretty much finished, and a bunch of other ideas that we're working on to make completed songs. So there's the Rock Bottom song or Lost in Time. Then there's another one called Parasite, and then there's a third one called Demonstrate Your Hate, which is a pretty heavy song, pretty fast and heavy.
Okay. And what are some bands that inspired you?
What are some bands that inspired me, Justin Martyr? Well, I got into music pretty young, growing up around like like my siblings and my mom, and just growing up in the time of the heavy music, and well, even before the new metal came. I grew up in the 90s, so it was grunge, the grunge era, and then after that it was new metal, and I've always gravitated towards maybe like the darker theatrical things, like even just the content and the the subject matter of the songs and everything. Bands like Alice in Chains, I like Nirvana. I grew up listening to a lot of Ozzy and heavy bands like Mudvayne, Slipknot, and then all those new metal bands, like POD and Linkin Park, and even like Devil Driver, Coal Chamber, uh, who else? Like Mushroomhead, Alice Cooper. He's one of the original shock rock uh, pioneers. Like, and then there's Marilyn Manson, who was heavily inspired by Alice Cooper, of course, which understandably so. And yeah, I like all those guys, and I mean, I like punk too. I like a lot of punk music, like the Ramones, Misfits, stuff like that.
What does Lovemask eat?
Love Mask likes to eat food. I'm just kidding. Well, I don't. We all like to eat food, don't we? Isn't that the answer? Um, I mean, I like all food personally. Most food, I should say. Um, I like a lot of pasta, pizza. I like all the carbs and the cheese. I like all the carbs and complex carbs and beer and things that make me fatter.
Okay. Do you have any shows coming up?
Yeah, I mentioned the GemFest earlier. I mentioned that, so that one's coming up in October, October 18th of this year, 2025. Hopefully, you're watching this before then and uh, can come check it out in Pala, California, across from the casino up there. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. Like I said, we got a bunch of bands playing. It'll be kind of like an all-day thing, but we'll probably be playing later in the day or evening or whatever. And then we got a couple other ones. One's gonna be at the Humble Heart thrift store in OB. What's the date on that one? I think it's sometime in the next week of October. So GemFest is the 18th, and then I think the Humble Hearts show is the next week, on the 25th, which is the next Saturday. So yeah, October 18th, GemFest, October 25th, Humble Hearts, and then I think we got another one in November. Kind of waiting to confirm it, but the date on that one, just check with us on social media. It'll be at McGuffey's, which was the old Navajo Live.
Okay. Um, where can where can us all like find your music?
Well, we have a few songs that we put onto streaming platforms, so we got a couple songs up on like Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, and all the other platforms. We gotta get more up there soon. We're working on the new songs. We'll probably put a couple of the new songs up there once we get them recorded. Hopefully before GemFest, we'll be able to knock out some recordings and get them up there for you guys. But other than that, we have a lot of live footage, which isn't so great, but it's raw. And I appreciate the real stuff. It's not edited or anything, so it is what it is, and that's what I like. I don't like anything, heavily edited or fake or um, what do you call it? Just magically manipulated or whatever. We don't. By the way, we're a real live band. I'm not knocking any other bands that use laptops or backing tracks, but we don't do that. We're all 100% live. Everyone's playing their instruments. What you see and hear is exactly what you get. So yeah. But anyway, if you want the links, there's probably some links on my social media: Instagram, Facebook, Justin underscore Martyr 9 on Instagram, Lovemaskband on all Instagram and Facebook. So there's probably links up there somewhere.
Okay, so what are you doing tonight?
Um, well, tonight I'm hanging out. I'm hanging out with you, and we're gonna watch the new Wednesday season on Netflix tonight. That's what we're doing. And then check out this Love Mask T-shirt. By the way, he's representing Love Mask with his T-shirt. Um, this is a limited copy, a limited uh, pressing of this T-shirt or whatever. So there's only a few left. If you want one, we got pretty much all sizes. Let me know what size you are. Just if you want one, just message me directly. Somewhere on Instagram uh, is better, I guess. Or drop a comment here if you want a T-shirt, and then follow me on Instagram is probably better. I can ship it out to you. Stand up. Let's see. Show them the design. So it's basically stand straight up. So it's basically like a skull bat eating a brain. That's the shape of a heart. Pretty sick. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there's that one, and then there's a couple more Art the Clown, Bloody Art the Clown T-shirts we have, which are white, stretchy spandex material, which it came out really good, and I made it white, and the image is not white; it's Art the Clown with blood on him, and then the idea for it, the reason why I made it a white T-shirt was because if you come see Love Mask live, I like to squirt blood at people, and then you can get your white T-shirt nice and blood spattered. So if you want one of those, I only have a few of those left too. Let me know, and then you can come see us and wear the T-shirt, and I can get you all bloody.
Okay, interesting. Alright, bonus question. If your music could be a color, what color would it be and why?
If my music could be a color, what color would it be and why? Okay. Man. Well, there are people that when they hear music, they see colors and things and images in their head when they hear music. So, if I listen to Love Mask, I would say it depends on what song I'm listening to. Like certain songs are probably different colors because, they're different moods, most of them. So, yeah, that's a tough question to answer. But if there was a color for Love Mask as a band and not the actual music as a whole, because some of our songs are very different. So if I was to say Love Mask was a certain color, I would say blood red or uh, lime green.
Okay, that's the end of the interview. So don't forget to like and subscribe to Luca Skully and to Justin Anguish Martyr's channel.
And also Lovemaskband.
and Lovemaskband. Can you do one of your screams for me?
Alright, so you want I'll give you a few of my different screams. So I have a low scream, which is more of they call it growling, I guess. I don't know. And then I got like a mid range, and then I got like a higher scream. If I can do it right now, I might disappoint you, but I'll try. So that's kind of like high, and then the lower one was like the. See how I'm going like from low to high? So something like that, basically. So helps if you relax and start. This is how I do it. I don't know how exactly anyone else does it, but this is just how I do it. I start with a very low, kind of like a whisper, almost, kind of like squeezing the whisper in my throat. I don't know how else to explain it, but so you're whispering like this, and then you're kind of squeezing it, and then you're kind of pushing and projecting until it comes into a scream. It comes into a scream. You gotta project the whisper. Project the whisper.
Okay. So,
Yeah, it's hard to explain and it sounds stupid when you're just doing it in the middle of nowhere, but with music behind it, it sounds much better.
yeah, I get that.
People around you probably think you're like crazy or something, but that's okay because maybe I am. All right, now you want to try it?
Like that? Something like that?
Kinda, but you don't want to fry your voice, so you don't want to like you don't want to do that. You don't want to go because that's gonna like ruin your vocal cords because that's kind of like rubbing them together. I think too much because you can feel your voice getting kind of sore if you do it like that.
Oh.
So don't do like a monster voice like like that. You want to kind of like so not like how you were doing, more kind of like straightforward projecting, not like harshing up your voice. It's hard to explain. You'll feel it when you do it right because you're not gonna feel any pain. You're not gonna feel any pain or soreness when you do it right. You just have to practice and find it. And once you find it, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Once you find it, like you'll know because you won't feel the soreness if you do it correctly. So I can tell right away how you were doing it. You're doing it the way that's gonna make your voice very sore. Because if you try to sound like the Tasmanian devil, that's gonna make your voice really sore if you do that a lot. So it's more like projecting a whisper to be as loud as you can, but almost a yell, but still a whisper. I don't know how to explain it. Just push the whisper out of your gut and your chest. So start here. I'm just whispering. I'm just whispering. I'm just whispering! And then get angry and just project it in an angry tone. That's the only way I can really explain it. I don't know.
Got it. So have you done this, like, have you done that, have you done, like, the devil kind of voice, like, a lot of times?
Um, I think at first maybe I did it the wrong way. That's how I know. Probably, I probably did it the wrong way at first and realized like that's not right. But I never played a show in a band doing it the wrong way. I think I figured it out before I even probably was even in a band when I was practicing on my own. I figured out the right way to do it on my own. before I joined any band. And by the time I joined a band, I was ready to go.
Got it.
So all I can say is prepare, practice, educate yourself by knowing what you can do. Don't let anyone else tell you how to do it. You can take advice, but I wouldn't. I would take it with a grain of salt and like don't believe everything you hear because there's a lot of false information out there. Of course, in the world of social media and everything, everyone thinks they're right. Everyone thinks they're the guru. Everyone thinks they're the best teacher or whatever vocal coach. I'm sick of seeing all these vocal coach videos. Um, uh, you know, watching like big bands performing live, and then the vocal coach will watch the video and have a live reaction to it. Like those reaction videos to Disturbed, like David Draymond singing and Corey Taylor singing, and like Mudvayne and like Chad Gray from Mudvayne singing and all this stuff. And then you get these like vocal coaches like critiquing them and like saying how good they are, and it's like no shit. They've been doing this for a long time. This is nothing new. Sorry you missed it. Like, why do we need you to tell us what's good? We know it's good already. But yet these videos get like millions of views, and it's like literally just a idiot who claims to be like a top tier freaking vocal coach critiquing big bands like Disturbed, Slipknot, Avenged Sevenfold, blah blah blah, all these bands, and they're like saying what they did right and what they did wrong. It's like we don't need to hear from you. We want to hear our music how we've always heard it and how we know it to be good. We don't need you to confirm anything or debunk anything either, for that matter. So,
And one last question. Um, when did you learn? When did you start singing and screaming?
well, I really started on guitar when I was about 12 or 13. I just started playing guitar. I taught myself everything. I never really had a lesson or anything. I just looked up a bunch of guitar tabs and chords and everything, and maybe I bought like a couple tab books, like some Metallica song books or whatever from like a guitar store. House of Guitars in Rochester, New York, where I grew up. Uh, they had a bunch of song books. I think one of the first ones I bought was a Metallica riff book, which taught you like a bunch of the Metallica riffs from the first couple albums, from Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning, and um, so I learned a bunch of their riffs, and then I looked up other riffs from many bands, and just really just learned riffs more than complete songs. If I really wanted to learn a full song, I really had to like that song. But anyway, so I started on guitar when I was 13. Then I started playing bass because uh, a couple bands in high school needed a bass player, so I just started playing bass. I didn't really want to do it, but then I ended up really liking bass. After a few months, I really started to enjoy it a lot. Um, but then I always wanted to be a vocalist, but I was just waiting for a band that actually needed a vocalist that I wanted to be in, and I always wanted to be in something like, theatrical with masks or face paint or something, and heavy and dark and whatever, and not really be boxed into a certain sound. I kind of wanted it to be a shapeless thing that we can just mold into whatever we want, whenever we want. I don't like to be boxed into one thing, so to wear a mask and sing um, um, really opens the creativity level and opens the door to um, you know not be afraid to sound different than anything else, or not try to sound like everything else. But I started really trying to sing when I realized that that's really what I want to do right now. and I'm done playing bass and guitar in all these bands, and not really feeling appreciated in a lot of bands that I was in. Um, uh, so I've had to really first break out of my bubble when I was pretty shy about singing because I never really did it, um, especially in front of people before, let alone on my own by myself. So once I got over that and practiced, I really pushed myself to do a lot of open mics by myself, just doing a bunch of cover songs and original songs that I wrote on acoustic guitar, going out and playing some acoustic shows and open mics and stuff like that. And doing like karaoke actually helped me a lot too because it pushed me to get in front of people without a mask on and perform in front of people and discover my vocal range and what I can and can't do and everything. So I probably really started to do it when I was like, I'm trying to think, when did I really start to do vocals? Um, let's see, I would say 2016, maybe a couple years before that. So yeah, it's pretty new to me. Actually, still new to me, even though it's been like 10 years or whatever. I'm self-taught everything. I did look up a couple vocal coach videos or whatever, but and I did take one vocal lesson, and I just realized it was garbage. Doing these bonus questions. What was the other question? You me to teach you how to sing or scream or something? Was that it?
Yeah, are you able to teach me scream?
Well, this is the thing. I don't. This is my personal thought. You can't teach anyone how to scream because there's different methods of screaming and different styles of screaming. I would say experiment with your own voice and see what you want to do and see what you're comfortable with. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to push yourself if you're trying to get a certain thing going, but um, I would say just experiment with your voice and try different things and don't be afraid to sound stupid because it's not going to happen overnight. But once you find what works for you, it'll click and it'll lock in, and it's all downhill from there. And like I'm still finding things that I can do with my vocals that actually surprise me sometimes. And then I'm like, damn, if I knew I could have done that, I would have done that in the recording in one of the songs we just recorded earlier, but now it's too late because we already did it and everything. But anyway, that's the beauty of being an artist and being a musician is like if you're evolving and constantly becoming better, then it keeps it exciting. Yeah, no, nobody knows everything, and everyone's always still learning things. And no matter how old you are, if you think you know everything when you're 20 years old or younger, then that means you're not ever going to get any better. You're just going to stay here. If you think you know everything, you're just going to stay at this level down here. But if you have an open mind and are always willing to learn and keep an open mind and keep learning and listen to the changes and experiment with new things, you're going to go up here and you're going to exceed and excel away from all the people that are down here thinking they're the best thing that ever happened to metal or rock music or whatever. They think they're like, I don't freaking know, the heavy metal Jesus or Beatles or whatever. Walked on the night when the fog abounds and shadows fall onto hallowed grounds. Forced to rise to answer the call. We don't belong where shadows fall. fly so high, try as they might, gravity can pull them down.
Lost again underneath my skin. Spiritual mind, traumatized again. Turn the key, unlock the gate. Walk the path, disintegrate. Lost soul, left behind. Evil thoughts are running through my mind. Lost soul, left behind. Maybe I'll live or maybe I'll die. Screaming pain, no one hears. Shed a tear through all the years. My mind is gone and I can't see clear. Looking at me, you see my fears. Lost soul, left behind. Evil thoughts are running through my mind. Lost soul, left behind. Maybe I'll live or maybe I'll die. Lost soul, left behind. Evil thoughts are running through my mind. Lost soul, left behind. Maybe I'll live or maybe I'll die. Here I am sitting in my peace. Never thought it would come to be. No one cares and no one calls. I'm left alone to roam these halls. Lost soul, left behind. Evil thoughts are running through my mind. Lost soul, left behind. Maybe I'll live or maybe I'll die.
Who are you? Luca Skully?
I'm you from the future.
Who am I?
Just kidding. You're just an Anguish Martyr. And I reversed the timeline.
I'm so confused.
I reversed the timeline.
No.